What's up, guys? I don't know what this is going to be right now. Honestly, I'm just going to be talking for a bit. I don't know. I just hit record. I'm playing Minecraft right now. Thinking of nothing in particular. Actually, the other day I was watching Joe Dirt, and I came across this one part where he was, like, eating off of the meteor um, that fell out of the sky, and then it turned out that it was just a giant ball of frozen shit from an airplane that fell down. And I was wondering, does that actually happen? I've thought about this for a while now, and I actually watched that movie a long time ago, and only now am I realizing like that must happen. Like, where do they put the shit? Where do they put it? Because like people like take a shit in that airplane like all the time, right? How many times does somebody take a shit on an airplane? So that made me wonder, right? I haven't looked up anything yet. I haven't looked up like, oh, where does it go? I'm just wondering. I'm just pondering myself and thinking all like the possibilities. Like, what if there's like a guy down there with like a baggie, and he just sits there and he just waits for somebody to take a giant shit, and then he just opens up the bag whenever he hears somebody flushing, and then he catches the shit, and then he like puts it in like a trash can or something. You ever think about that? That's what I was thinking about, to be honest. And and then it came across my mind again, like maybe just Joe Dirt was right. Maybe they just, or maybe they actually, you know what? They may like go over like an ocean or something, and then they like eject the shit like out of like the bottom of like the airplane. Do they have like an ejecting little hatch at the bottom, like specifically for little shits, like big piles of shit? I don't know. It literally crossed my mind the other day, and now I can't stop thinking about it, and I don't know why. But anyway, what are the other options that could go with this thought here? Like, I don't know. Like, what if they just like where do they store it? In like a septic tank? Is that it? Just a septic tank in the airplane? Yeah, but that's like boring though. Why would they want that? That's just boring. Because they're like, so where's the shit go? Oh, it goes in his septic tank. Oh, okay. Well, that's the end of that conversation. You know, that's not cool enough. You know, you want your story to end up somewhere. If somebody asks you a question, you want that story to. Why did I put? Did I seriously put oak over here? Damn it! I fucked up the entire flow of this side. This is supposed to be spruce, and this is supposed to be oak. Anyway, Joe Dirt was right about shits falling out from airplanes and landing in the middle of a field. I think that's the one that is the most plausible and the most interesting, and I think that's just, to be honest, that's just what it is. It is what it is. Reality is often disappointing, but when it comes to massive spheres of frozen hard shit that looks like a meteor falling out of the sky, I think that's just what happens. If I'm being completely honest. I honestly don't think that there's any other reason why or just anything that would make sense other than just to just eject it. Because, like I asked before, how many times does somebody take a big dookie on a plane? That's something to really calculate. I'll be honest with you. I failed algebra like twice, and I went to summer school, and I failed that too. So I'm not too good at math, but by my calculations, by my calculations, there must be at least, well, let's calculate how many people are on a plane. Let's say about 250 to about 300, right? Because that seems to always be like the death toll when like an airplane crashes and everybody dies on it. They're like, oh, 250 people died on the plane, including the fucking pilots. Why do they even need to like talk about the pilots anyway? They're people too. I mean, you know, whatever. Um, what was I saying? Oh yeah. So let's say that there's like 250 people um, on the plane, right? And every single time that somebody gets up to shit, that's another person taking a shit, obviously. So let's just say that they go to the bathroom and take a dump. And that's excluding if they're going to be peeing. So sometimes like they're not just like gonna go to like take a dump. Maybe they're just gonna go like pee. But Okay, then let's reduce. Let's just see how realistic this is now. Okay, this isn't just about um proving that I'm right, but just trying to calculate whether or not that would be real. Um, that like Joe Dirt would be right about that. Um, so let's just say 3 people take a shit probably every hour. Okay, and so that and how much is a is a flight? About what, like, depending on what you're doing, maybe like 5 7 hours maybe. And when they land, it's not like they're like taking, they're not. Excuse me. I have I have digestion problems ever since I was like 3, and I just threw up in my mouth a little bit. That's okay. Anyway, Joe Dirt. Um, God, look at this rain. It's so pretty. You know, the one thing that I really love about Minecraft is just how stupidly simple it is. I enjoy how the clouds move ever so slightly while the rain pitter patters against this wood and back into the sea, and how the darkness kind of just engulfs everything. Even when there's light, there's still an equal amount of darkness. And I think that's one of the most beautiful things about Minecraft is that even though it's just a bunch of ones and zeros and blocks and the textures look like shit, and Mojang or Microsoft or whatever does absolutely nothing with it other than adding fucking frogs and little leaves that fall around, even though that's been like a mod since probably Dan TDM was with Dr. Treoris. Even though all of that is basically what Minecraft has been known for the last 3.5 years. Maybe ever since Microsoft did anything with it when they added mine coins and shit or whatever. I think Minecraft is still one of the greatest games ever made in the entire world. And I think everybody else agrees with that. And it really does make you think, like, how innovative you'd have to be to make something like this and take over the world simultaneously in 2009, no less. 2009, dude. You know how many great games were out in 2007? How many games came out? Assassin's Creed. First Assassin's Creed came out. I think God of War came out. 2007, COD Modern Warfare, known as one of the greatest Call of Duties ever made. And then this comes out in 2009, like a blocky, shitty, low budget, just mindless entertainment that you just give yourself by placing block after block, killing animals and making them fuck and making smaller ones and then growing them up to be incestuous, and they fuck their mothers and their fathers and they make more babies, and then you kill them all to make leather for your bookshelves. And then that becomes the biggest friggin' game ever made. But anyway, on the topic of Joe Dirt, I think that they probably don't shoot um, giant meteor-sized shitballs out of the bottom of airplanes, but they probably have a guy down there just with a bag to catch the poop, and then he probably eats it. All right. Well, thank you for hearing my rant. Like and subscribe. I don't know. Suck a dick.